traveled to Florida. I was very glad that we weren't going the opposite direction into the floods and I-10, which is where we're headed this weekend. So it'll be interesting getting to San Marcos. But no, we started off, played amazing the first set against Northern Arizona. Had all the tools there to complete it. Northern Arizona just coming off a 3-set win against LSU. So again, we knew they'd be a tough squad to play against, and battled, lost in 3, but we averaged 20 digs per set, which is #1 in the nation. I mean, that's really what we did against them. Our offense has got to be able to turn those digs into points. We are currently number 8 in the nation in digs per set. We're number 15 in the nation in attacks per set, which is great, but we've got to turn those attacks into kills. And played Liberty. We were in a 6-2 first set, 2 sets. That wasn't working, so we flipped to a 5-1. We win the next 2 sets, and which makes it a little crazy, and then we lost the 5th. But you know, we can look at it a million ways, and I can sit here and make excuses for our team and whatever. You know, our team plays hard. They're playing right now amazing defense, and it's just our offense has got to turn it around, and our offense is not killing balls at the same level that our defense is digging balls, and that's our biggest dilemma right now. We're getting balls up, and we're just not turning them into points. Against Florida, we played tough, you know, and we ran a 5-1 in the 3rd set, which is the set we played the best. With Avery Breaux in the front row with her little small block, great, whatever. And against the number 11 team in the nation, it didn't hurt us too much, so maybe that's what we do moving forward. I don't know, but this is not the offense that we had designed to run this season. We did sign a player who is currently at a junior college, and so we're just right now figuring out how we can make this work. That's not an excuse in any capacity. I love my team. I think they played hard. They played hard all weekend long, and I go all the way back to the very first weekend. Had we not gone 0-3, we'd be 7-6 right now, which is kind of where I thought we might be at this stage in the season, but instead we're 4-9. So we've got to go into conference now. We've seen it all. We've tried it all, and now we've got to go against Texas State, who's going to be a formidable opponent, especially at their place.
When you're talking about the offense not really being able to turn those digs into points, is that the hitters not connecting with their setters? Is that placement, or is that just not having the confidence to put the ball down?
I think it's a combination of all things. Really good question. I think that I think some of it is setting decision making. I think some of it is hitter decision making, and I think some of it's also fear related. You know, we tip way too much. We tip and roll shot way too much. And it's like, can I power up and swing on this ball, or am I worried that I'm gonna make a mistake or get blocked? And like Florida had 16.5 blocks against us. And you know, a block is an error, is an attack error. So we hit 0.38 against Florida, but we stuck right with them in terms of digs and aces and all of that. Well, great, but we've got to be able to turn that around. And I think our team at the end of the match, when I told them we hit 0.38 against Florida, they were shocked. They were like, "Oh, I thought we did so much better." I'm like, "Guys, they blocked us 16.5 times." Yeah, that's what happened. So again, we'll just keep working, and that's all we can do at this point. And I'm super positive about my team for sure. We have all the tools to do it. That's the thing. And if I felt like it was a recruiting issue, then I'd be like, well, you know, maybe next year. But it's not. We have all the tools to be great, and we just have to get there.
What was the turning point in the match against Liberty? Y'all had a lot of ties and a lot of lead changes, so what was the main factor in them, in Liberty, able to get the win?
In the 5th set, I go back to it. You know, there was a 3-point swing where it was 11-10. They were up 11-10, and we committed 3 errors in a row. You know, and we lose 15-12. Well, those 3 errors, I mean, that's really the match. Once you get to a 5th set, nothing else matters. Those 15 points, the first 4 sets it doesn't even matter. It's just about those 15 points, and those 3 errors, whether it's a passing error, like they aced us, and then we hit a ball out, and then we got blocked. So those are the 3 areas we're talking about. And it was like boom, 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 all of a sudden they're at 14 and we're still at 10. Well, we fought back 2 more points, but in the end, they still win.
Coach, just talk about the start of Sunbelt play, maybe a chance to kind of forget about what's happened up to this point and kind of move forward.
Yeah, I think we're moving forward for sure, because Sunbelt play, we always say we're 0-0 now instead of 4-9. But at the same time, we have to be able to learn from what we've been doing. And I cannot stress enough the amount of positive things that are happening. Tia Jade Smith, she hit 5'11" on the weekend and had 1.18 blocks per set. That's monstrous. Kelsey Bennett finally came back alive. She had 14 kills against Northern Arizona and hit, I think, 280. Kelsey's been a little bit missing in the last few weekends. And so great things are happening. Now we just got to move it together. So to move forward, I think is very important, but also to remember that we are improving every single match and to let them know that, hey, I am not the first person to be Debbie Downer on them. I'm the first person to be behind them going, hey, you can swing hard, but let's be smarter about what we're doing.
Are you guys going to ride on the 5-1 since you were able to win with that formation?
We ran a 5-1 the first weekend when we went 0-3, so I thought, surely this is not going to work. Well, then we win the next weekend. We win 4 in a row in a 6-2. Well, then we have a setter now out for the season, torn labrum, and so now we're on our 3rd setter. And so then it's like, do we go to a 5-1? Probably. And not that she's doing a bad job, but it's the whole combination of learning the offense and coming in new, and defense. The defense is the big thing. Also being able to not be someone, if they hit to right back, then the ball's a kill, and so it's all that. So I don't know the answer, honestly, and this week in practice we're going to look at it for sure.
For the challenge specifically, Texas State picked to win the West. Looks like they got off to a bit of a slow start, but since won 5 straight. What's the biggest challenge that your team's going to have to face this weekend? Ourselves. The biggest challenge that we have to face this weekend. I think obviously Texas State and UT Arlington are both quality squads, no question. But the biggest challenge is what we're going to do on our side of the floor. And we have not played a team yet that we have not been able to go toe-to-toe with, and that does include Florida. It's just we have to decide how to score much better. And it's a complete offensive strategy kind of thing. And we will. And it's getting better. And once we decide to either stay in a 6-2 or stay in a 5-1, it's kind of like, that rotating quarterback. Do you just go with one and know that that's it, the end? Or do we keep going back and forth? Because we are better with Avery Bro on the floor. Whether she's front row or back row, we're better with her on the court. Whatever her energy is, whatever she's adding to our mix, we're better with her on the floor.